Look closely at this world. It is a masterpiece of engineering, a sprawling web of glass and steel pulsing with invisible blood, electricity. From the neon-drenched streets of Tokyo to the stock exchange floors of New York, our civilization is a symphony of constant connection. We are the masters of the planet, scrolling through timelines, trading billions in microseconds, and trusting our lives to the silent hum of the grid. We feel invincible. We feel permanent. But then, in the blink of an eye, the heartbeat stops. There is no explosion. There is no warning siren wailing across the city. There is no mushroom cloud rising on the horizon. It happens in absolute, terrifying silence. The lights do not just flicker, they vanish. The hum of the refrigerator, the glow of the street lamps, the roar of the ventilation systems all cut instantly. In that single second, thousands of elevators across the globe freeze between floors, becoming steel coffins for those trapped inside. Above the clouds, radar screens go blank. 10,000 commercial flights disappear from air traffic control simultaneously, their pilots blinded, navigating a sudden void. The internet, the collective brain of humanity, the repository of all our knowledge and wealth, is lobotomized instantly. Most people will reach for their phones, expecting to see a no-service notification, assuming it is a local power outage, a tripped breaker, a fallen line. They are wrong. This is not a glitch. This is history repeating itself with vengeance. This is the Carrington event of 1859, reborn in a digital world that has forgotten how to survive in the dark. The sun, the very star that gave us life, has just decided to turn off the switch. Welcome to the new dark age. To understand the end, we must rewind the clock just 18 hours. The apocalypse begins not on Earth, but 93 million miles away in the silent vacuum of space. At the Space Weather Prediction Center in Colorado, screens are washing over with data that makes veteran astronomers' blood run cold. They are looking at a dark abyss on the surface of the sun, sunspot AR 9999. It is a gargantuan magnetic wound, 20 times the size of Earth, throbbing with pent-up energy. For weeks, the magnetic field lines above this spot have been twisting and tangling like an overwound rubber band. The tension is mathematical, precise, and absolutely lethal. And then, the rubber band snaps. A blinding flash of white light tears through the solar atmosphere. This is an X-class solar flare, the most violent explosion our solar system can produce. In a fraction of a second, it releases the energy equivalent of billions of Hiroshima bombs detonating simultaneously. But the flash is just the muzzle flare. The bullet is what follows. A coronal mass ejection, CME, a colossal cloud of superheated plasma and charged particles, is hurled into the void. Weighing billions of tons, this magnetic tsunami begins its sprint across the solar system at 3,000 kilometers per second. Its target is locked, Earth. 8 minutes and 20 seconds later, the time it takes for light to travel to us, the first wave hits. It is invisible, silent, and instantaneous. A torrent of X-rays and extreme ultraviolet radiation slams into the upper atmosphere. On the ground, the sun shines as brightly as ever, but in the invisible spectrum, the sky is screaming. High-frequency radio communications on the sunlit side of the planet are instantly severed. Transoceanic flights lose contact with ground control. Ships in the Pacific go mute. GPS signals begin to drift, first by meters, then by kilometers. Governments receive the alert, a cryptic coded message flashing on secure terminals. But the analysis is dangerously flawed. They believe it is a passing storm, a temporary glitch in the matrix. They do not see the monster hiding behind the light. The plasma cloud is still racing through the dark, closing the distance with every breath we take. The bullet has left the chamber, and humanity is standing directly in its path, completely unaware that the countdown has already begun. The 18 hours of mercy are over. The plasma cloud, a magnetic sledgehammer spanning millions of kilometers, slams into Earth's magnetic shield. The impact is silent to the human ear, but to the planet, it is a violent concussion. The magnetosphere, our invisible guardian, buckles under the colossal pressure. It cracks, and through those cracks, the solar storm pours in. The first sign is not darkness, but light, a light so beautiful it defies logic. The sky above the night side of Earth ignites. The aurora borealis, usually a shy dancer confined to the poles, breaks its chains. It surges south, sweeping over the globe like a phantom wildfire. People in Cuba, Hawaii, and Vietnam look up to see the night sky turning a deep, bruising purple. and then a terrifying blood red. It is a mesmerizing, hypnotic spectacle. Millions rush out of their homes, phones raised, capturing the celestial firework display, unaware that they are witnessing the funeral pyre of the electrical age. Beneath their feet, the physics of destruction has already begun. The shifting magnetic fields induce massive electrical currents in the ground itself. The Earth becomes a charged weapon. These geomagnetically induced currents, or GICs, seek the path of least resistance. They find it in the long, copper veins of our high-voltage power lines. The surge invades the grid with the force of a tidal wave entering a canal. It rushes toward the critical nodes, the extra high-voltage transformers. These machines, the size of small houses and weighing hundreds of tons, are the beating hearts of the power grid. They are designed to handle delicate AC currents, not this raw, direct current assault from the sun. Inside the transformers, the steel cores saturate instantly. The magnetic hum turns into a deafening roar. The insulating oil, meant to keep them cool, begins to boil. Temperatures spike by hundreds of degrees in seconds. Then, the explosions begin. From Ontario to Ohio, from Scandinavia to Shanghai, transformers detonate like bombs. Balls of fire erupt at substations, spewing boiling oil and shrapnel. Safety breakers trip, but the surge is too fast, too powerful. The grid, overwhelmed by the solar attack, essentially commits suicide to save itself, but it is too late. The lights go out. It is not a flicker, it is a cascading failure, a domino effect of darkness racing at the speed of light. The east coast of the United States goes black. Europe follows. The entire power grid of South Africa collapses. In less than 60 seconds, half of the planet is plunged into absolute pre-industrial darkness. The silence that follows is heavy, but it does not last. Chaos erupts instantly. In underground subways, trains screech to a halt, trapping thousands in pitch-black tunnels, suffocating in the heat. In hospitals, the lights die, and for 10 terrifying seconds, there is only the sound of gasping breath before the backup generators kick in. But these generators are a ticking clock. They have fuel for 24 hours, maybe 48. After that, the ventilators stop. On the highways, the modern car, heavily reliant on electronics, becomes erratic. Traffic lights are dead. Intersections turn into demolition derbies of crushing metal and shattering glass. The water pumps that drive clean water to the 50th floor of skyscrapers grind to a halt. The taps run dry. The sky above is still glowing with that apocalyptic red light, casting long, dancing shadows over cities that have suddenly become concrete tombs. The internet is gone. The cellular networks are overloaded and dying. Humanity is now alone, disconnected, and shrouded in darkness, while the sky continues to burn. Day 7. The sky has finally returned to its normal color, but the world beneath it has changed forever. The silence of the first night has been replaced by the roar of chaos. The thin veneer of civilization, held together by full stomachs and smartphone screens, has been torn away. We are no longer citizens of nations. We are survivors in a global cage. The most immediate terror is invisible. Across the globe, nuclear power plants have automatically shut down, but the fuel rods remain scorching hot. The backup diesel generators, the last line of defense keeping the cooling pumps running, are drinking their final drops of fuel. As they sputter and die, the water in the spent fuel pools begins to boil. Steam rises, a radioactive ghost escaping into the atmosphere. From France to Japan, the containment failures begin. It is not one Chernobyl, it is potentially dozens, creating invisible exclusion zones that will poison the wind for generations. But for the average person, radiation is a distant fear compared to the immediate brutality of thirst. The city's towering monuments of human achievement have become death traps. Without electricity, the pumps that drive water and sewage have failed. Taps are dry bones. Toilets do not flush. Modern hygiene collapses overnight. In the concrete canyons of New York and Mumbai, the stench of waste begins to rise, bringing with it the ancient killers: cholera, dysentery, typhoid. The global economy has simply evaporated. The cloud, where we stored our wealth, has dissipated. Your bank account balance, your stock portfolio, your pension fund, they are now just inaccessible magnetic patterns on fried hard drives. Credit cards are useless shards of plastic. Cash is king for exactly 3 days, until people realize you cannot eat paper. The new currency is ammunition, antibiotics, and clean water. Supermarkets, stripped bare in the first 48 hours, are now battlegrounds. The just-in-time delivery chains that fed the world have shattered. No fuel pumps mean no trucks. No trucks mean no food. The cities are starving. Desperation unmasks the primal nature of man. Looting is no longer a crime. It is a survival strategy. Neighbors who once borrowed sugar now guard their doors with shotguns. The police and military, overwhelmed and unable to communicate without radios, have largely deserted to protect their own families. High above, the satellites that once guided us are now drifting, lifeless junk. There is no GPS to guide the lost. There is no internet to teach the helpless how to purify water or start a fire. We built a world where knowledge was outsourced to a search engine, and now that the screen is black, we are dangerously ignorant. The grid didn't just power our lights, it powered our humanity. And without it, we are descending rapidly into the dark. 1 year later, the sun rises over the city, casting long shadows against the skeletal remains of the old world. The smog that once choked the skyline is gone, replaced by air that is remarkably, terrifyingly clear. The constant roar of traffic has been silenced. Now, the only sounds are the wind, whistling through broken windows of abandoned skyscrapers and the chirping of birds reclaiming the concrete canyons. The global population has plummeted. Billions did not survive the first winter taken not by the solar storm itself, but by the famine, the freezing cold, and the collapse of medicine that followed. Those who remain have been hardened by loss. They are no longer accountants, influencers, or programmers. They are farmers, scavengers, and hunters. In the evenings, small communities gather around wood fires, the only light they have known for 365 days. Elders, who are merely 30 years old, tell stories to children who will never know the glow of a tablet screen. They speak of a time when you could talk to someone on the other side of the world with a magic glass slab, when water flowed endlessly from walls, and when the night was never truly dark. The children listen, wide-eyed, treating these tales as myths of a lost Atlantis. We built a magnificent civilization, a Tower of Babel reaching for the stars, but we built it on a foundation of sand, entirely dependent on a stream of electrons that we could not see, touch, or guarantee. We forgot that we live in the atmosphere of a volatile star. We forgot that on the cosmic scale, our technology is nothing more than dust. The sun continues its cycle, indifferent to our suffering. It burns as it has for billions of years, and it will storm again. The Carrington event of the 21st century was not a malice of nature. It was a reminder of our fragility. As you sit there, watching this on your screen, with the battery charging and the Wi-Fi connecting, take a moment. Look at the light bulb above you. Listen to the hum of your computer. Appreciate it. Because out there in the deep dark void, the magnetic tension is building again. The gun is being reloaded. And next time, we might not be lucky enough to just lose our internet. We might lose everything. The screen goes black. But this time, it's up to you to turn it back on.